that mother car. I just want to let everybody know. Listen,
And we're off. Go ahead.
I don't understand what the was going on during the early 1900s, but they decided that walls were to be as thin as paper.
Oh
And
no.
and
Yeah.
my thing is this, is like that's cool, but in today's world, you need some insulation in this piece.
Yeah.
Because I hear every single car that comes through this not even major highway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, now I can sleep through a freight train, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to record a podcast, shut your Cadillac converter up, please.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I got to say about that. I'm done.
Ooh, I think I just heard it again. So I will say, like, for those out there, it doesn't sound like we can hear it, which is good. It's suppressing it, but I'm sure it's very annoying.
It's super annoying because I be having points to be made.
Yeah. Yeah. So many
And
points.
people's, GNC or GMC, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, why don't we talk about something lighter and funner, Tim, to open up the conversation?
yes, please.
I think Christmas came early.
Oh my God.
Somebody
Sis.
announced their world tour.
Like
Oh,
history mode. Yes,
so,
me.
so excited. You, me, and our brother Kevin, who
Yes.
our audience knows, we have been planning our attack.
Yes. So I just want to let Beyonce know because she watches us.
Of course.
Thank you so much for your patronage.
Love you.
I have been saving my coins and getting ready for the reckoning that's about to happen. I'm so happy for this film, like queer experience that's about to happen all inside of me. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I this is my first round on the B train as like a full in fan. You know, I kind of like dabbled in and like gotten into
Well,
the
this is
lore
a
over
good one to
time.
get on.
Yeah, so I'm super excited, and you, me, and Kevin know what we're doing when those tickets go on sale, and we're willing to.
Yes, heated.
Ring
Yeah.
the alarm. That wasn't
Listen,
very good.
that's not
No.
this album, but it's
No, I'm so
okay.
sorry. I'm
Like,
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
no, I mean, I want to talk to my girls, the
uh,
girls getting days. Let's really get our clacks correct on heated because it's
mm,
really the fan clacks. There's a choreography to it.
right, right, right,
So when
right.
it's like clack, 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 and we can really start a riot, start an earthquake, start our own gay version of January 6th. We can do this if we all come together. You know, I'm so excited. Oh, I love you, Dee. Mwah.
Yeah, anybody out there, we're trying to get to the DC show. So if we have any fans that are gonna go and want to say hi, we'll be fighting for DC tickets whenever they go on sale. So still waiting for that
I'm
official.
not fighting because I'm a celebrity. So
The tickets will come to us.
yeah,
So
I'm waiting for the promotion box.
oh my god, if we get on stage, not that that's gonna happen, you know, it's not gonna happen. But if we
First of
do,
all, I I'm gonna be doing my 22 days by Beyonce.
whew,
Oh, I'm so excited. Just envision like a black version of the first Queer as Folk happening.
mm. Yeah,
And I cannot wait to just be in the midst
yeah.
and just enjoy the energy and the synergy that we all will have. So
Looking forward to it, B. Can't wait.
ah, eat it. Uh,
Well, Tim, we're talking about dating today, so you want to kick
we
things off?
are. Yeah. Hi, I'm Tim
And I'm Bear, and this is Cub.
and Chubb.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. So,
Hola.
Tim, let's talk about dating, shall we?
We shall.
The biggest question is, what is dating? What
It's
is dating?
it's hell on earth. That's
It's
what it
hell
is.
on earth.
It is. It is today. I feel like it is trying to get to know somebody to see if they're worth your time and energy because that's the real currency, right?
Okay, so you really think of dating as everything up until the point of like true commitment? Like that's
Yeah,
all dating, right?
exactly. Like from the time you like, I don't know, lock eyes to
Mm-hmm.
like, I really think I could be with this person. Period. Not even like forever, but just like I want to say that maybe this is a significant other.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I struggled because I didn't date for a very long time before dating Al,
Hmm.
and the language about dating in that period because of apps and culture, like
Hmm.
the uh, what is talking to each other, what is dating, what is
Yeah,
now you're my boyfriend. Oh, I'm almost 40. I don't feel like calling you my boyfriend. That it feels very,
because I'm not a boy.
yeah, neither of us are boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really struggled with like, oh, we're dating. Oh, okay, that's fine. But I really I didn't really know how to like define that myself because for me, I don't think I ever really dated like to feel things out.
Yeah.
I think like I found somebody that I liked as a friend, and then it
Hmm.
was like you're mine. You know,
Yeah.
like we just immediately became like a committed like kind of relationship. So like I never really went through like dating before Al. You know, that period when we were getting to know each other and
Hmm.
feeling things out. That was like my first dating experience,
Yeah.
um, which was interesting. You know, Skinny Bear was out in the town
I
and trying
mean,
to
was doing her thing, honey.
let's
She was,
we can date.
taking names,
I had my
um,
list, which is fine.
going to lunches and Walmart.
Lunches and brunches and all the potions. Yeah,
Yeah, all of the Richmondites becoming the girls.
such a small pool.
It is.
Such a small pool. Whenever I
And
go,
they all were down. They were
they,
down for the bear.
eh, there were people who were willing to participate.
No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. We're
Uh,
not going to sit here and be humble. We're not gonna stand in it.
it's all right. It's all right.
We're
It was
gonna
a
stand.
it's a good time. It was a good time. Um,
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to every single one of y'all.
Yeah,
Um,
not single one.
say-
That's so shady. That
what?
is not because they're all single still.
I
Like,
well, I mean, when
ooh,
let me just
no.
go. So Tim, tell me about your best date ever. What was the best date you ever went on?
So the best date I ever went on, they I met them. It was the
Ooh,
first date, and I met them at in a city that was, kind of equidistant between the both of us.
yeah,
And we just had a wonderful day.
yeah.
Like they planned everything to a T. They were like, we're gonna do this, that, and the third. Which one would you like to do? Like they had it all planned out, but I got to pick what order we did it in. So I didn't have to, it wasn't like a, what are you doing? What do you want to do? It was like, here's a plan, but I'm gonna give you some leeway and say, you get to choose the order in which do you want to go eat now? Do you want to go fuck? Do you want to like do
Yeah.
you sit by the lake, have a good moment? Like, do you want to just get to know each other right now? Like whatever. And it was just I learned so much about that person that day that honestly kind of made me fall in love with them that day.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I had been talking to them before and I was like, they're okay.
Sure.
But that day I was just like, this person like listened to what I was talking about before. They had intention for us to have a good time and what to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to like worry about being the person that's like, we should do this, we should do that. And because I hate that. I don't like making decisions.
Hmm.
Because if it's left up to me, I'll sit at my house and watch Drag Race all day.
You love to be at home and cozy.
I do, I love a 64-degree house and a cover. So
You really, really do. Yeah.
what about you? What was your best date?
My best date was a date that I didn't know was a date. So
Ooh.
this was in the time when I was still dabbling with straight boys. You know what I mean? We've all been
I know
there.
that well.
We know that life. And at this point, I was like not quite. I had my moment after high school where I took like 3 years off before I went to college. So I'm in that 3 year window where like I'm not at college yet, but I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And I met this group of people who were going to an open mic night. And one of them's name was Paul. And I'm going to use his real name because I haven't talked to him since this night. And we're friends on Facebook, but have not spoken to him since. And I don't think he's probably listening. So what's up, Paul? Paul
Shout out to
had,
Paul.
shout out to Paul. Paul had some real Rivers Cuomo lead singer Weezer vibes. Like
Ooh.
small geeky glasses, acoustic guitar, but a little bit more little build to him. He's a cutie patootie. A cutie patootie. And Paul was in the middle of a divorce. So he was like a friend of a friend. And I met him at this open mic night kind of thing we're going to. And so we go a few times. And one night he's like, we finish up the open mic night. He's like, so this is like my last night in town. I was like, oh man, that sucks. And he's like, I really had a really good time. I'm like, yeah. And what makes this story kind of interesting is that there's a third person. There's the guy that I knew and who was queer,
Yes.
who like we weren't dating, but we were like hanging out or whatever. I'm like having a good time. And so the three of us are doing this thing. And then Paul's like, yeah, it's like my last night because I like divorce is finalized. We got to get out of the house and I'm moving back to Tennessee. I was like, oh man, that sucks. And again, I think he's cute. He's fine, but he's straight.
Yeah.
So he's like, why don't you both come back like over to the house? Like we can like have some drinks and hang out and just like send me off, one last night. I was like, sure. And I'm at that age where like anybody suggests something, I'm ready to roll.
Yeah. Not to mention he's cute, so you're gonna say yes to most
cutie patootie. And the guy that we know, like everybody's cutie. So we go back to their place, and he's like, his whole apartment's empty. All the furniture's moved into like storage, and it's his last night. He's got an air mattress, a twin air mattress, like on the floor. Oh. So we're like having shots, we're listening to music, and we're just hanging out. And the guy that's with us ends up going home, and I was like, I was a little too far gone. I was like, and I was still at that point where I could call my parents for a ride if I needed, you know what I mean? So I was like, I think I'm gonna call, and he's like, no, like, why don't you just stay the night? I was like, and I'm looking around. I'm like, where would I be staying? This is an empty house with a twin bed. And he's like, oh, you can just stay there with me. I was like, oh, okay. And it was just a lovely, lovely night. And, you know what I mean? And it was just like, and again, he was in that weird place post-divorce. He was clearly lonely.
Find yourself. Well, I mean, sometimes you have to find yourself after.
Yeah, but we weren't like close friends. We would like meet up occasionally at this open mic night. We had not hung out a lot, but in
That's the
this
perfect
moment,
person.
yeah, that's the thing. He needed a moment. From this
Needed
moment,
a moment.
I was ready for a moment. Moments
A moment
like these. And just had a lovely night. And then woke up. He got in his U-Haul. He went, and I've not seen him since. Again, I've seen photos of his wedding. He got remarried. I've seen photos of his kids. Lovely.
Oh,
Again,
don't you love that when you? I love that.
I know you love that
so much when you can see like the life that they lead.
Yeah.
After, you know, the time that they had with you,
That's
or
right.
during the time they had with you.
So that was one of those things that like I think about Paul. He comes to mind like every now and again, you know, like this is a sweet random date / one night over, you know, once a month.
I'm think about Paul too.
I know Paul is such Paul was a sweetie, and he's off living his life, and I will always cherish that moment, Paul. So
yes, thank you, Paul, for porking my friend.
I mentioned nothing about porking. I said we had a lovely night. Oh my god.
I mean, porking could mean a lot of things. It's not poking.
That's true. Anyway, so I'm just gonna throw that
whole nother conversation.
That's a different podcast.
Exactly.
Different episode.
So, like, we talked about, you know, your best date. What is the worst person you've ever dated?
The worst person I ever
dated. We're not saying name. Well,
sure.
I might say a name, but like describe what this person is like.
So I'm gonna ramble on a little bit longer. I'm sorry, Tim.
Of course.
I've got a twofer. Both of these situations wasn't because the person I was dating was bad. Like, I don't think I've actually had any like bad dating situations. I tend to be friendly with the people I date, or you know, still in contact with them. But there have been situations around those people that were less than ideal. So I was dating a guy named Andy. Oh my god, this story. Oh, I don't even know if I've told you this, Tim. I don't know if I've even told you the story.
I need to hear this. What is?
Okay.
The listeners are in.
Oh man, I need to. Maybe there's an abridged version. It's okay.
No. We want the unabridged version, honey.
You know DG.
Yes.
Mutual friend. Okay. So me and DG dated for a minute and realized pretty quickly that we're better friends, right? So that happens, and we're still friends to this day.
Yeah.
Not too long after me and DG stopped dating, he starts talking about somebody that he likes named Carson. And he's like, I met a boy. His name is Carson. I'm like, ooh, tell me about Carson. He would tell me about Carson, and I was so happy that he had found somebody, and we were both kind of moving on in other ways, but still very friendly. Yeah. So awesome. Fast forward, David holds a Valentine's Day party at his house. And at the time I'm single, and he invites all of his friends who are couples and who are singles, and everybody's like coming over and hanging out. And so I'm at the party, hanging out, and this boy walks in. And he, like, you know, like when you see somebody and you're like, yes, like symphony, clouds. I was in, but I still was not a very confident person with my body or dating. Like I'm not super confident when it comes to like approaching people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm appreciating from afar.
And
he comes up to me and he sits next to me after a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Andy. I don't think I know you." I'm like, "Oh, hey, Andy. I don't think we've met before." So we start chit-chatting, and like it's so easy. Like immediately, like we have a lot in common. We hit it off, and so we talk all night. So at the end of the night, he's like, "You want to come back to my place?" And I said, "Sure, Andy. Why not? It's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's the day of love."
I go to the backyard where David's at, and he's got a fire pit.
Mhm.
I go to the backyard. I'm like, David, I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for the party. I'm gonna go back home with Andy. I go out there. David doesn't look happy, and I'm like, oh no! Like, what happened? Like, who hurt you? Like, like when David's mad, the world's not right.
Yeah.
What's going on? He's like, I see you're having fun talking to that boy. And I said, yeah, Andy. He goes, that's Carson.
Oh,
David nicknames people. He never uses their real
oh,
name. So I spent the entire night with the boy that he had been like just thought it
loving,
was so cute, and like I was so happy
puppy
for him.
loving.
Had no idea that was him. And so it was this really awkward moment where David's like, "No, do your thing."
Oh, oh
You know
no,
what I mean?
no.
And I'm like, no, like you're clearly like you're. He's like, no,
But that
and
doesn't
then
make it any better. Now
it
it's even
doesn't.
worse
And
now.
I have to say,
Listen,
like,
I don't want your second.
so what? And in the moment, like looking back, I don't know if I would do this any differently, but in the moment, it was like he's mad.
Mm-hmm.
He's mad at me,
Yeah. You might as well go ahead and do what you
and I
do.
left with Andy. And
Yeah. Okay, look,
no,
my
okay.
35-year-old bitch ass self. I, if you're already mad at me for doing something I haven't done yet,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be petty
and
and
I
I'm gonna go
didn't.
ahead and do it.
Yeah, and I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know. And if he had come up to me and said, that's the guy I like, I would have been like, oh, that's all you got to say, because
But that's the thing is like, why did he just sit and stew all night?
again, we were younger, we were different people.
Yeah.
We're talking 20, almost 20 years ago. It's like,
Yeah.
we're different. But
20 years ago. Wow.
um 15. Let's go with 15.
I was
So
like,
that,
not 2 decades.
and again, DG, if you're out there and you hear this, I love you. We're good now. And Andy is happily married. Andy and his husband are just cutie pies. They are. They're amazing. So good for them. Second story. I'm taking up all the airtime, Tim. I'm so sorry.
No, girl, I don't care. I love this.
Okay.
Listen, Kurt.
So the other awkward one. Oh, I got to be careful with this one. One of these people are still actively in my life. I dated in college. I dated a girl. We'll call her Lynn.
Okay.
We'll call her Lynn. And Lynn and I, we work together. We hit it off. We have a lot of really good energy, and we probably talk and flirt for a few months before we start dating. Right?
Yeah.
So much fun. She's great. Still love her to this day. At the time that I'm talking to Lynn and having a good time, I am harboring feelings for a straight boy. There it is, right? It's always the straight boys.
Our 20s were just full of straight nonsense.
Straight nonsense. So my bestie at the time, we'll call him Will. Mm-hmm. Will and I have been best friends for a year and a half at this point. Like, we've lived together, just besties. And of course, after a year or so with Will, I catch feelings, but I'm not talking about it, and maybe it's not real, and whatever, and doing that thing. So I decide, like, me and Lynn are heading it off, so I'm gonna date Lynn. And me, Lynn, and Will are all friends. So after work, we're working together. After work, we're hanging out at my apartment. We're going to the bar. We're swimming in the pool. We're all having a really good time. So a few months later, as I realize my feelings for Will are a little bit more intense, I break it to Lynn and I say, I think, I don't think this is going to work. I think we're better as friends. Have that whole speech, and she accepts it. We're all good. And that's that. So I think. Fast forward, like, I don't, it's been so long, but at some point I realized that Lynn and Will are seeing each other. Not so long after. Yeah. So they start dating. I love your face. Thank you. They start dating, and I go into like paranoid mode. Like, were they interested together? Like when I was dating her, and I was also into him, and
Ooh,
that whole it was so weird. And
well, it's
and
giving entanglements.
right, and I told her
Go
that
Jada.
well, I told her that Will was playing into a factor. Like I was dealing with feelings about Will, and that
Mhm.
kind of played into like ending this relationship with her. And now they're dating, and I'm like,
Do
I'm
they
freaking
talk
out.
about me?
Do they talk about me? Like he's also being a little like skittish about like we made plans and now we can't make it that weekend.
Yeah.
That starts happening, and then I find out they're dating. I'm like, wait, are you like hanging out with her and break and like? So then like me, the best friend who is not dating you but is
Yeah.
completely in love with you, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. So, and I had forgotten about this one until she reminded me years later. But apparently there are messages that I sent in my where I apparently told him everything. I like,
Oh.
well, this is awkward for me because this is how I feel, and like I just came out and said like
Not
all this
you,
stuff.
not you giving your feelings
I
away.
gave them all away, and basically was like it's me or her. Like I did a whole thing. I did a whole
Oh,
production.
baby.
I
No.
did a whole production,
Uh,
and
uh,
and
Jenny
I yeah,
Jones.
and I was not the chosen one. I was not Harry Potter in the situation.
Obviously, yeah.
So that happened, and then like 3 months later, they got married. So we have this really, really bad breakup as a friend group, and I'm stewing, and we
Yeah.
have other mutual friends who are now in the middle of it. So like
Also, like they not. Oh, not.
everybody at the bookstore, everybody at the bookstore knows. So they know that I was dating her, and they know this thing about Will
Oh
and all this stuff.
no.
So now I'm at work stewing, and they're like, "Have you talked to Lynn or Will since the wedding?" I was like, "Since the
Oh.
what?" Like I I it was so bad.
Oh,
It was so bad. It's the angriest and most bitter part of my life. Like
yeah.
I carry that to the fraternity. Like that happened right
Yeah.
before I met all the guys and
Yeah. Yeah.
joined, and I was carrying that weight. So everything's great now. Like again,
Yeah.
me and Lynn,
I
I
mean,
still talk
it's
to
been
her
a
and see
decade.
her regularly. Yeah. Um Will and I have not reconnected. We have not spoken since then. Some of that is just
We don't like the same things. Like,
I think some of it is also like we've moved on. Even like when things calm down, like he's gotten married again. Like so they've gotten
oh, they
divorced.
got a
Oh, sorry,
divorce.
they got a divorce.
Okay.
They have both since found other people and remarried. So
Oh well, that's good. No wonder she can be your friend. Okay.
yeah, we're good. If I ever
He's
ran
like,
into
I don't like his ass now.
yeah.
He's evil. Like,
No, Will's in Richmond. I've kind of always thought that I would run into him, and it just hasn't happened. Which I'm kind of shocked that the city's so small. But Will, if you are definitely not listening to this, but if you are, hope you're okay, buddy.
I
No harm, no
guarantee he
foul.
probably is
What?
because he missed out on that thing. Like he's listening. Hi, Will.
I will.
Um,
It's no,
you
no.
missed out.
Hey, Tim, it's okay. It's all right. I appreciate that.
Listen,
Will's good people. Will's good people.
no,
It was
he's
a
not.
messy
But
it
whatever,
was a messy time.
whatever.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, don't give ultimatums to stray boys. Like,
No,
like
that did
that's
not work.
that's a lesson for everyone.
Everybody,
Every
don't do it.
child that may listen to this, that may find themselves in a queer situation, never give an ultimatum to anybody, but definitely don't give them to the straight lover.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Tim, what about you? The worst person you ever dated?
His name is I can't stand
Oh
his
my
ass.
god! Beep 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 beep
Also,
beep 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 beep.
um, the second one is a 66-year-old man that was just way too old for me. Um, I was not interested in the history of the town we were dating in, but he decided he wanted to let me know. Uh, and that's when I realized there's not an amount of money that will make me okay with just dating anybody. So yeah.
Can I ask you? I'm going to ask you a serious question. You can tell me to back up.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to meet said 66 year
You
old
and others.
and others. It was not on purpose. Tim did not mean for that to
Not.
happen.
Okay, so this is one thing. I keep my relationships and my friendships separate, and I
Yes.
will discuss that why later.
Yes. So when I met this person, I was surprised by some of their demographic information, let's say.
I was
And
surprised that y'all were there.
um, can I ask what the interest was? Like why you even entertained that for a little bit?
um, I was hungry that day.
Yeah.
The day that we started dating, I was hungry. Um,
Yeah.
and it was like parts of it was very like charming.
Yeah.
He was very kind of charming at the moment. He also didn't look 66 because
Mm.
he had some like he had gotten into an accident and had reconstruction surgery on his face, so he wasn't uh the average 66-year-old.
Oh.
Um, also at that time I was really low and depressed and needed somebody who thought that I looked like the royalty that I wanted to look like at the time. And
Yeah.
he was lucky to have me, and I didn't know it at the time, but he really was.
He really was.
Yeah.
We all are.
And his house was amazing. Like his
That's
bed
true.
sheets,
Those daddies
the
with
bed
money,
sheets. Oh my god.
thread count, baby. Sometimes you can't say no to
What I
thread count.
should have did was I should have went back to that place and saw what type of sheets he had. So now in my having decent amounts of savings, I could buy the sheets.
There you go.
But
And push him aside. Boop.
oh, I don't need to ever hear
No.
from him again. But shout out to you. You gave me a great speech about, Liberty Hill, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to you.
But yeah, don't call people the N-word when you want to them.
Timothy, I think it's time for a break.
All right. Hashtag January 6th. Where were you?
Where were you? I want to see the tracking information. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Don't call people the N-word in bed. We're gonna go on break. Where were you on January 6th? Miss you. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
I can't. The way we ended before,
I mean, honestly, where were you? And I'm not talking about giving me, a little receipt that you were at the gas station that was, maybe 13 miles away.
Oh. Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Were we not talking about hashtag
the location. We were. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about the N-word portion of that.
Oh yeah, don't.
You were thinking about
the
no.
Listen, if you
still want to know where they're at,
I want to know where you were, because based on how you felt so free,
right,
in saying that word,
mm-hmm.
To me, of all people,
yeah,
I am black with a capital B.
Capital B, baby.
And don't do that. Don't disrespect my elders. Don't disrespect my ancestors. They will come for you, honey, and shrivel you up more than you already are right now. Anyway.
On Route 66. Okay, so
demons.
We're talking about dating, Tim.
Yes,
and I thought I would try something and see if I could remember every person I ever dated or called my girlfriend, like through kindergarten.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I cannot. I don't have nothing. So
I have like my sense of time is done by music. So
Mhm.
like when I think of a song, I think about the year and like time and space. And
Yeah.
then I also think about like who was I dating? Which sounds weird because I was that kid that like always had a girlfriend. Should
Oh,
have something should have
oh,
been
she was a little.
it was. So, okay, you
She was
ready?
a Rolling Stone.
Yes, she was.
Papa.
So, kindergarten, didn't have a girlfriend, but loved Tyler. Tyler's a great photographer. She goes to Bonnaroo every year. Tyler, you're my favorite. So I
Oh,
didn't have a girlfriend, but I had a crush. First grade, her name was Rita. Red hair, um, just cute. It's where my ginger obsession started. So Rita, Reeta, Rita, if you're out there, how you doing? We are not
oh.
Facebook friends. Me and Tyler are Facebook friends. I still keep in touch with Tyler. Second grade, don't think I had a girlfriend. Don't remember. Third grade, Carly, which was weird because I was Carl, my government name.
Yeah,
My
Carl
government
and
name.
Carly.
Yeah, that did not last long. That was like a week.
Oh, not your government name. You
My
got to bleep
government
it out.
name. Carly, that didn't last long. Fourth grade, I think me and Nicole dated. Nicole, oh, Nicole, me and Nicole were like best friends in second grade, and then I think we like dated for a little bit in fourth grade, if I remember correctly. Fifth grade, my favorite random girlfriend. Fifth grade, her name is Chelsea. Chelsea, shout out. We are also still friendly.
Kelsey Handler. Oh my God.
Yes, me and Chelsea. She is my age. Yeah. So Chelsea was new to town. She just moved in to Williamsburg, and so she's the new girl, and everybody's like, "Ooh, who is this?" Right? Like she's got like a mystery about her. We're in
Mhm.
fifth grade, we're like 10 and 11. So I get the courage to ask Chelsea out on a date, and she says yes. And we go to the movie theater and we go see The Secret Garden. Tim, have you ever seen the movie The Secret Garden?
I'm black.
Thank you. So I
Okay.
haven't seen it since, but there's something to note here. At the time, Chelsea had broken her leg. So I think she was like a sporty spice. So she was athletic. And in the time that we went on this date, her leg was broken. So, and we had, in my opinion, we had we were officially boyfriend and girlfriend. So the
Wow.
weekend after the date, I get back to class and she tells me that we are not boyfriend and girlfriend. And in fact, she was on drugs from her broken leg and she can't be held accountable for anything she said. 10
Wow. Wow. What an adult
Chelsea
conversation.
Chelsea knew what she wanted and what she did not want, and I was not wanted. So
She said, I'm on Percocet, Molly Percocet.
yeah,
And
I don't know. I don't. I can't be held
I don't
accountable.
know why I was with you this whole time.
Yeah. So Chelsea, shout out to you. That's still my favorite breakup process. That was so good.
Oh,
Um,
heartbreak.
Heartbreak. Sixth grade was mostly single up until the spring when I
Mm.
got the most badass girlfriend ever. Shout out to Casey. If you're out there, Casey, me and Casey dated for 2 years. So
What?
and she was 2 years older than me. So I was the sixth grader in the spring dating the
Dating an
eighth grader
eighth grader.
who was about to go to high school. So yeah,
Is that
yeah.
legal?
I maybe in some counties. We're in Virginia. It is what it is. But I mean, I was 12 and she was 14. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know the laws.
I sure it would get tangled later if we
Yeah.
want to go that far. But so me and Casey are dating, and there's this funny situation where over the summer we're dating the first year.
Mhm.
Like we start dating in May right before school ends, and then I don't call her. I don't talk to her. Like,
Wow.
like she's
Like
my first,
like a sixth grader.
like
Yeah.
a sixth grader with a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
So I remember at the end of the summer we made plans. Like we finally got in touch with each other, and we made plans to go to Busch Gardens. And she's like, "Where have you been for 2 months?" And I
Yeah.
said, "I've been at home. I'm 12. I'm 12.
Aw.
I've been at home." She's like, "I thought we were dating." And I was like, "We are." She's like, "You have to call me and like hang out with me." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "What'd you do this summer?" What'd you do this summer? I said, "I went to go see the Smashing Pumpkins with my dad." She's like, "I was at the same concert. We did."
Oh,
Yeah. So, so like we ended up doing all this stuff that so anyway, shout out to Casey. She's the one that taught me that when you're in a relationship, you should care about the other person. know
but
what?
wait. The thing about that is like,
Uh-huh.
don't try to put that role on Little Bear. Like
Again, 12 and 14, we are babies. We
Oh,
are
oh.
babies.
Well, they need to learn about roles and consents and stuff like that as
Uh,
well. It starts somewhere.
so you are acting. You're giving me real mama bear vibes. And funny enough, anyway, you know what? We don't have to go down the road. You know what? That's not this. That's not this episode. That is not this episode.
Family.
Family. You're not the only person who had these feelings. So, so me and Casey date for 2 years. I love her as much as somebody who's 12 and 13 and 14 can love somebody. Like,
You want to know? I want to know her side of it though. Like, what was she doing during those times?
oh yeah, no, I
You weren't
mean,
talking.
uh, yeah, no, it would be interesting to see like how she felt, especially like again like 12
Yeah.
and 14. We're now again like 25,
Yeah.
almost 30 years later. It's like that'd be interesting to see what
Were
that
you
looks
dating
like.
someone else?
So Tim. At the time I started dating Casey, again, who I'm attracted to, and you know,
Oh my
I'm
God,
totally head
you're
over heels.
happy with? Yeah.
I started noticing there's something about these guys, something about these guys in my class that
Mhm.
is pulling at my heartstrings. But I'm not sure what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And in 8th grade, so the last year that we're dating, ooh, I gotta be careful with this one. He is married with children, and I don't know that he was ever identified as anything other than straight.
We'll
Um,
just call him something else. Danny.
Danny, Danny, Danny. Danny comes from like a hippy dippy background, like
Mhm.
love is love, man, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it's kind of sometimes its own sexuality, right?
Mhm.
Like just fluidity and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so when Danny comes into the picture in 8th grade, he expresses like the mildest interest in like seeing what's what,
Touch it.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? What's up, Danny? And but I'm dating Casey, and
Mhm.
I feel terrible. So I do something that most men who date women apparently don't do. I had an honest conversation with her. I was like, I was
Yes,
like,
these babies need to know.
you need
Have
to
honest
know.
conversations.
Be honest. Stop hiding your feelings. I told her, I was like, I like you. I don't want to not date you, but there's this other thing that's happening, like that I'm feeling, and I feel like I need to explore it.
Feeling
And
polyamorous.
uh, it didn't end well. We didn't last much longer after that conversation.
Yeah.
Even not for lack of effort. Again, she a sweetheart, and again, by that time 14, 16, she's got
Yeah.
her license. She can go out and take care of herself. Can I tell you, Casey dropping me off at 8th grade, like my sophomore girlfriend dropping me off at middle school, was the most badass I've ever felt in my life. It
What
was so much
is
fun.
going on?
Tim,
Black
I lived.
parents and white parents are completely different. My mother would have never. My mother would have said, "A 16-year-old want to take you where?
Yeah, yeah.
And you think it's a girlfriend? Oh no!
And
You better
again,
get in there and
and
watch
ag-
Nickelodeon."
again, you are not expressing feelings that other people in my family may have not expressed. Again, we can cross those bridges later. Um,
You better get in
but-
there and read them books. That's what my mama would have said. Have a girlfriend.
yeah. So again, as it's really weird to like have been in a committed relationship at that age for so long, but
I mean, that is a commitment.
it's
And
a
you had
commitment.
honest conversations.
And it was like,
It was like you're not communicating with me enough. Like
I'm 14. I need you to become eye to eye with me, man. It was a lot of fun. Casey's good people, and she's happily married, kids. She's doing great. So shout out to you, Casey.
aw.
And then the rest of the time is mostly straight boy bull. So
Yeah.
I think that's its own episode. We can talk about dealing with straight boys and
Ooh, yes, we know. Yeah, we don't have time. We don't
Yeah.
have enough time for all the 20s that I had to deal with.
Andy, which we talked about, Lynn, which we talked about, and after Lynn, I took a nice break up
Mhm.
until Al.
Mhm.
So I was Was living the nun life, the monkish life, if you will. So,
You know, I yes.
Tim, do you remember like the earliest like person you
So
dated, or that you would say you had like some kind of relationship with?
I don't.
Did you have like
So
girlfriends or something like
I
in?
did have girlfriends, but I will say that a lot of my like middle school and elementary school stuff, it was so petty, and
Mm,
like I staunchly knew that I was a homosexual. Like
mm,
I wasn't hetero, but I didn't know those terms, obviously.
yeah.
And everybody else around me was very much man and woman, you do things. So I would say, like, I know in kindergarten, like, I sort of liked uh in that we would play house together.
Are we putting last names out there? Am I beeping stuff? What am I
Oh
doing?
my god, we're bleeping that. I forgot I was
Okay.
on the damn podcast. Uh, we're bleeping the whole name because I don't know. I don't know what she does. I've never seen her after maybe high school. She had her derriere was huge. And so I thought about, playing house with her
Hmm.
only after she dated, or only after she would like mess around with um Cortland, which we will just the name
Uh-huh. Sure.
Cortland. Um because he was so cute, and I was just like, oh, and I wanted to dance with him. And one day I did dance with him, and my teacher, um, Miss Mentor, I don't care, you don't have to bleep that out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Um, she was like, boys don't dance with boys. You shouldn't be doing that. And blah, blah, blah. And I got put in the corner.
Oh,
So I
nobody
was
puts
like,
baby in a corner. How dare she?
baby Tim, 5 years old, and can't, express the love of, oh my God, he was so cute. Anyway, so every day I would dance with Jakisha, and after she would dance with Cortland. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so, and then after that, I did have a girlfriend. Her name was Sam.
Yeah.
And she actually is my friend on Facebook. Shout out to
Hey,
Sam.
Sam.
Really love her today. She's a I don't I don't really know her queerities.
Sure.
So she is a woman of queer. So I had a relationship with her, but she moved away in the middle of our girlfriend boyfriend thing.
Oh no. The
So
one that got away. Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of like fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think. It was either eighth or ninth grade. I had a girlfriend, Jennifer. She, I don't know why I thought that was my girlfriend, but we talked on the phone every day. She introduced me to um secular music that was not black. So Z100. She
Hey,
was like,
Z100.
turn on the radio to Z100. It's so good. And I was like, fine, I guess this is what you have to do to please your girlfriend. So, and she was like, I don't even remember the song, but I was just like, this sounds weird.
Yeah.
where's
Yeah.
where's the tambourine? Like, I don't get it.
Right.
So it was very that, and I appreciate her for bringing me into the world of music, um, in the pop sense. But that didn't last long. She also dated a bunch of other people.
Mm.
Um, she ended up kicking somebody in the nuts in the boys' bathroom because he quote unquote cheated on her.
Sure.
Yeah, so like
Well,
she was a feminist before feminist.
amen. Amen.
And then I dated 3 girls in high school. I will not say their names because
Say their names.
no, because they will. They actually might, like three of them, like two of them are homosexuals now,
Okay, well,
and they probably would listen to this podcast because we are a homosexual beacon, and or a queer beacon,
queer
or
vegan.
all of those.
A
All
queekin. No.
yes, we are a fleshlight of all, all
A fleshlight of diversity and love.
yes.
Wow.
So those two would definitely know.
Uh,
Um, and I remember I loved one of them because they started singing Reason by Hoopastank on channel one. Like the song came on and I was like, I really love that song. And I thought I was the only black kid that was listening to that type of music. And she is over there, and the reason I never know. And I was like, I must love you for life. So we dated for like 6 months.
oh,
Um,
nice.
Shout out to her. You know who you are. Based on that. And then I had one last girlfriend, who I will also remain nameless because that's the one that had things like not turned out the way that it was. It could have changed my life for not
Hmm.
necessarily great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that things worked out the way that they worked out. And I sang at her wedding like a few years ago. And
Oh.
yeah, like it's just like when I look back and the times that we had that were like struggles, um I'm so glad that they happened the way that they did because it really showed me that you need to get out of this. You are not interested in women and you don't want to keep messing around before you end up having a situation that you can't get out of.
Yeah.
So I kind of just between those people, I kind of just stopped dating. I was still, being I was still messing around with yeah, some things because high school happened. I grew up fast.
Mm-hmm.
Around those times, the Lord led me in different places. So that's what I'll say about that. Um, do not leave your child with ministers. Uh,
Tim, I wasn't gonna say anything.
yes. So yeah, that was that was me dating women and then not. Yeah. So
The lives we lead,
the
right? Like,
lives, the I really do appreciate who I am and where I've come from and
mm-hmm.
what I've been through because it
Yeah.
created the semi strong person that I am today. So
Yeah.
I enjoy that. As far as like dating women, it was one of those things where it's like that is what I thought a relationship should be based on what I saw in the home and around me and other places and even at that time like on TV. So it really I thought, yeah, this is what it was like. But then when I first dated and messed around with, a dude that I actually wanted to be with, um, I was like, oh no, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
This is right where I'm supposed to be.
yeah. And that led to, one of my first heartbreaks. So yeah. Speaking of heartbreaks, there, have you
Mm-hmm.
ever been a heartbreaker?
Have I ever been a heartbreaker? Um, I've got to think about if I'm going to edit this out. That's too serious.
No, we need. I mean, we've had a lot of. Yeah, let's just go there. It's fine.
Mm,
I mean, and you can always,
yeah, we'll see where this goes. So I have had people in my life who, uh, Tim, I'm a bit of a dodo. I don't notice details sometimes, and I don't pay attention to certain
yeah,
wavelengths. And I'm sure you have witnessed this. I'm some people might say I'm aloof at times. Like I'm here, but sometimes the people are giving me signals, and I'm just not picking up on them, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there have been multiple times in my life where people have been like hitting on me, and I'm like, my name's Bear. And they're like, yeah, no, I want it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you seem nice. Like, I'm not connecting the dots. Um, and so there have been times when like I've carried on relationships with people who, in hindsight, very clearly had feelings.
Yeah.
And had I known, I probably would have like done things differently.
Mhm.
And so you got to like kind of break those things off. Yeah, I can't go there.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I completely understand. And I mean, just in general,
Yeah.
like it probably doesn't feel good because we know what it feels like to not be reciprocating the feelings, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't feel the same way. I actually just enjoy your company. Like,
yeah,
and it's like one of those things where it's like now you're gonna lose a friend because you kind of have to in order to sever that sort of bond that they have
yeah,
with, because you don't have it with them. And hopefully you can come back and it changes and grows into something better.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, I have I've I can only think of one heart that I broke.
Mm,
And it still kind of makes me sad to this day because they were it was like I had been so hurt and I shut down for a
hmm.
while and thought about the things that I wanted in somebody. And I was presented with every single thing. um and it just didn't work.
Yeah,
It wasn't it was just like something about it just wasn't mm, sometimes you just have those like butterflies and feelings of like wanting to be with that person,
hmm,
and it just went away way too fast. And so I had to sever that relationship, and I really had to think about it. And I don't know, it really like I remember breaking up with him and then crying for 2 days
yeah,
because there was no reason other than I just wasn't feeling it. And that's valid, right? That's a valid reason. If
yeah,
you're doing something, you shouldn't be in something. But it was just I had never been the person who said, nah, no, like it's not for me. No
yeah,
thanks. And I mean to this day, like I do feel bad about it. But it was the right decision.
right,
Um
right. But you
yeah,
still,
but it's still like sad. Um, but yeah, have you ever had your heart broken?
I mean, the Lynn and Will situation was probably like the biggest one for me because I'd invested 2 years in somebody, and again, like he was unaware of my feelings.
Yeah.
We weren't dating.
Mhm.
Like, let me make that very clear. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
were best friends, but we weren't dating. But in my mind, I had created this relationship that
Mhm. We
was one
did.
sided, like you do
Yeah.
when you're dealing with straight boys and you're young. Um, and then the Lynn aspect of it, of dating her and confiding things in her, and then feeling like that was on shaky ground because of that relationship. I mean, I completely shut down. I
Mhm.
didn't date people. I didn't. I kept people at arm's length for years. It was easier to not let people in because then I wouldn't get angry or
Yeah.
overwhelmed. So the it's a double edged sword. I cut myself off for a while, but then like a few months after that incident, I met all the fraternity brothers,
Yeah.
and I was in this room with a bunch of straight boys, mostly straight boys, straightish boys, and um, and save for a couple of our very favorite queer brothers, um,
Shout
because
out to
I
y'all.
shout out to y'all. Had I not had my guard up,
Mhm.
I could have easily interpreted some of those relationships incorrectly,
Yeah.
right? Um, you know, I'll shout out a couple people. You know, Galen and Jacob, for example.
Yeah.
Those are two people that I grew really close with, and had I not started those relationships out like with a certain distance and just like
Yeah.
getting to know them and understanding like that could have gone very differently. I couldn't have had those relationships prior to that.
Yeah. Because you were open to like,
I was having crushes on straight boys that are not
yeah.
available,
Yeah.
and that is a pattern for certain people when they're learning about themselves and attracted to what they think is masculinity and wanting to do those things. And
Yeah.
we fall into some of those traps when we fall for things that are just not available. Period.
Yeah.
And so because I went through that with Lynn and Will, I had my guard up. I met these guys who were not interested in me in a romantic sense, but really wanted to be my friend. And
Yeah.
so, in a weird way, I'm happy for the heartbreak because I learned a lot from it. But I also learned how to have appropriate relationships and close relationships. Like,
Yeah.
I can say that I honestly care for and love Galen and Jacob, and they're two very straight men.
Mhm.
But I feel close to them, and I have a close relationship with them, and it's platonic and it's honest,
Yeah.
um, and you know, and shout out to Derek. I can't believe we've gone 6 or 7 episodes and I've not dropped a Derek comment on this thing. It's a very queer space, and again, Derek, who has been my best friend for 20 years, um, is also very straight and as straight as Derek can be, and he would appreciate that comment. Thank you. He would appreciate that eye roll. He knows. He
I
knows.
wait, 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 wait,
No.
wait. I didn't
Oh,
eye
do we
roll.
want to rewind the tape?
That was not an eye
Let's do a
roll.
Monet.
That was
Monet,
a that
rewind the
was a
tape.
thought. That was a thinking downward. That was a okay. Yes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, because I was like,
Derek's
he's. I mean, he's an ally, which is a part of the LGBTQIA, all of that. I was like,
he's an ally, but he's also a Maxinista. He loves himself a tight pant, and
he's a metrosexual.
he is. If yeah, he if that definition still exists, he would probably fall into that.
Listen, Gen Xers, like that is metrosexual was a thing for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but
Now I don't know what we call them now, but
just straight. I mean, they kind of just melded into
yeah, we call them the skinny jeansers, I guess.
yeah,
Like,
gains. But yeah, I had to go through all. I'm glad I went through that because although I had my guard up, it allowed me to figure out how to have those relationships and be appropriate and get close with people without crossing lines that
yeah.
So
It took me until my 30s to figure that out.
it's a
So
hard lesson.
it is a very hard lesson. Um in which I've gotten my heart broken many a time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, trying to navigate relationships with straights, gays, bis, try anything like I have gotten my heart broken, like
Yeah.
shattered into pieces. Um, but I appreciate those heartbreaks because they showed me that the real person that I should be focusing on and love the most is myself.
Yeah.
And that like my heart is my own. And it's not that I need to be guarded, but I definitely need to be more mindful of who I'm giving it to. And like, are they really there in the capacity that I need them to be?
Yeah.
Um, and that's not saying I don't want to be in a relationship that is, you know, traditional or anything of that nature, but like it's just saying like figuring out who this person is and where they fit into my life is very important before I start to like love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate the heartbreaks. Thanks so much, all of you. Um
XO.
XOXO, I'm glad you're doing well.
Right. That's awesome. Tim, oh my gosh, this is one of the longest episodes we've ever done.
They
We gotta
love
say,
it.
they love it. They love it. They ain't gotta edit it, but they love it.
Ooh, wow. You know, I'm just talent.
You're,
Like
you are the talent, and I gotta
you're
form
everything.
it and
You're
get
every
it
woman. It's
set.
all in you.
I'm every woman. Oh
It's
my God.
all
All
in
right, before we get pulled for the
you.
copyright infringement, we'll be right back.
Oh, bye.
So dumb.
Hey, it's almost
Hello.
time for Drag Race, so we need to get this
We
done.
gotta get going.
Bear, what
Tim,
are you living for?
what am I living for? Oh wow. I've got to say, I know we opened up with it, but Beyonce. You
Mm,
know, there's just something magical when she decides to bless us with her presence
yeah,
and come out of hiding and
I
entertain
can.
us,
Yeah,
make her millions, and go home.
listen,
We'll take it.
I try to pattern my life after her.
Oh man, I
So I try to come through, give my lights, give my hugs, my kisses,
hmm
and go home and listen to, Beyonce.
Yeah,
So,
it's been exciting to like make plans. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like to plan for the future. It's if we get these tickets, it's a weekend. It's not some like crazy big commitment time wise, but like
yeah.
making
She's
plans
giving us an experience to think and to like be.
to plan for, to prep for, and to
Yeah,
spend it with people that we care about, right? So
exactly.
the idea of like going with you and Kevin to do this and like getting away and just living in it is just super exciting.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin, happy belated birthday, Kevin.
Kevin, happy
Yeah,
belated
I love you
birthday.
so much.
22 forever.
You're everything.
Mm.
Speaking of
Tim.
shout outs, I want
Yeah.
to shout out a TikToker that has commented on one of our videos named Samwell. Uh the uh the TikTok name is Samuel underscore zero.
Okay.
He has some really funny videos that I have had a strong chuckle.
Nice.
So shout out to you. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. And what's making you live this week, then?
Ooh, what I'm living for is the camaraderie that I had today. There was a coworker that was out, Um, and it didn't really feel like somebody was out. We actually got everything together around the same time, and we just came together and had a good time and laughed and joked and did everything that like coworkers really should do
Mm-hmm.
without being too negative. I mean, we don't like our supervisor, but it is what it is, and we come together on not liking her.
There you
Um,
go.
so
Common
yeah,
enemy.
exactly. Camaraderie on being a hater and also getting the work done. So
Amen.
thanks.
Well, Tim, let me give everybody the tags. You can follow us, Cub and Chub, at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those fun things at Cub and Chub, CUBANDCHUB. You can buy our merchandise. Thanks to everybody who's buying our merch.
Thank you so much.
This is
it's
awesome.
So cute, isn't it? Oh,
it's so cute. It's so cute, and people are buying it. People see it and go, "I want to spend my money on your cute faces," and it's like, thank you so much.
I adore it. Ugh.
It's awesome. You can get that merchandise if you go to our Linktree, linktree.com/cubandchub. You'll get links to all of the podcasts, all of the socials, and the merchandise. Get yourself a cute little throw pillow to put on your couch with our beautiful mugs.
Yes, sit on our face.
Sit on our face. Tim, I don't know there's a better way to end it other than that. So sit on our face. We'll see you guys next week.
Be good. I love y'all. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.